Here we go. I took yesterday off. Today's day 6, and uh, it, I was gonna homeschool Satya this year anyway, so you can't read it because it's backwards. But this is her history, and you know, I the subjects that I split duties equally. Well, now it's equally. Prior to recent, I started like really documenting how much time I had with my daughter, and it wasn't equal. I had her kind of an interesting amount more, and now I'm working on personal boundaries, and it's a game, it's a role that we're all playing, and I'm with each other when we choose one another, right? So we unpack the programming, and then we no longer use predictive kind of things. I don't want to use words that we may not all understand, so I'm going to speak vaguely so that you can finish, but I'm also going to talk about things that are really important for us all to be working on when we choose our partners, when we make all these choices that it's obvious that we're making, yet for some reason we find ourselves victimizing ourselves or blaming ourselves. But it runs so deep that when you practice this more and more, you start to see that you're choosing everything. Now, while I say that simultaneously, there is no choice in the matter. No. Everything is beyond your control. Everything. The only thing that you can control is how you perceive it. Okay? So, now, as a father, it is my privilege to teach my children real world information, right? So things like manners, how to navigate in the world as a society, right? So I used to live in the matrix. And I'm using the word matrix because we're all familiar with what that means. I understand that there's judgment about that word, and me choosing to use that word may just get people to swipe right on. I don't care. If you're here still, that means that you are interested in gaining self-awareness and really abolishing the delusion that is separation. We are the plants, we are the microbes, we are the bacterias, we are everything. The only reason we are not always getting that is the programming, and it's all here, right? This is not conspiracy theories, or it's just what it is scientifically. What we see is what we're taught to see. That's it. That's what's happening in our brains. Everything that you're seeing, is brought to you by you. What you recognize is what you can see. Where did you get it from? Okay. So if you're confused by that, then watch the PBS special, if you will, called The Brain. Episode 1 will give you a quick crash course with basic verbiage and terminology so that anyone can understand what's happening here. So, yes, I know I am spirit first. I get it, which turns off quite a few people. And I totally get it that a lot of people even like question everything, because I'm pro all the drugs. I'm pro all the things. We have cannabinoid receptors, tobacconoid, all the receptors in our brains already. Opioid receptors, everything. The plants are growing for you, with you, by you. You know damn well the honeybees are here, and the result of their work is the pollination, which is food brought to you by the honeybee, brought to you by the honeybee. What are you confused about? What the fuck are you confused about? What are you worried about? Some kind of race games? Why are you worried about your culture? How do you make culture? You make it. You cultivate it with the bacterias. Now, if you're going to blame a culture for the loss of your culture, that is okay, because I understand that is your healing process. That is what you need to do. But there are some people tuning in that don't need to do that. What they need to do is recognize and rebirth the culture that is already theirs and is known to everything and everyone that is alive. That is alive. So when my daughter gets taught by me, homeschooling program. I was going to homeschool her anyway this year, but because of COVID, I get to do this with a curriculum like this. And let me read this to you. Now, there was other things, including Black Lives Matter movement. My daughter's 8 years old. She is multi-raced. I don't like even using that shit. But she doesn't look exactly like me. Now, she noticed since she was 2 years old, she was different from me. And one time, in tears, asked me how come her skin wasn't like mine and how come her hair wasn't like mine. And her best friend, being blonde-haired and blue-eyed, she already felt this. I don't even know. I don't want to pretend to know my daughter's feelings and limit her by that. I just know it brought something up. She needed a process, so I helped her with it. I don't have, separation to teach my daughter though, but it's right here. The programming. Let me read this to you. We are American citizens. We are legal members of this country. We have rights. We have privileges. It is important that we respect the law. We have responsibilities. When we grow up, we will vote. When we grow up, we will have the right to be leaders. When we grow up, we will pay taxes. We may serve on a jury. I don't want to even read you the other stuff that was, in my opinion, more ridiculous than this. This is debatable stuff, right? That's why I'm choosing to talk about it. It's more of a challenge to get through. I don't like my daughter learning this, but it's part of her curriculum. So, out of respect and responsibility for the teacher, who is same culture as my daughter, I will simply add a father's duty and responsibility and remind my daughter she's already a leader and she is not subservient, and that born into this world she has the rights of all and every single possibility. When she serves the land, she has the right to it. And there's some other things here. But the basic privilege is for love and light, for home, water, food. That's what I want my daughter to know. And I'm going to cut this one short because I got to get back to teaching my daughter, but I just want you people to know that how you choose to perceive things will be your reality. You're not a victim unless you reside in there, unless it makes you feel good. Watch what drama triggers. Watch what blaming and all those kind of things triggers inside you. If you ever need the reminder, at least you know that this guy here loves and accepts you. Aloha.